your stage, how like on the priority of list, how important was your draw speed? How important was it to have a good draw? But overall, does it have a real strategic effect on your shooting ability on stage? Right? It's on the bottom of the priority list. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of people like to emphasize being really fast out of their holster.
0.75 out of the holster,
when
and
in reality,
doing that. No, that's not that important.
You know, you didn't have to be 0.75 out of your holster, because you know, we teach practical shooting skills, and although we're going to go over how to how to have an efficient fast draw time, you know, on the competitive stage, drawing your gun is like super low on the priority list. As long as it's faster than 1.5 seconds, you're golden. Like you're
if
okay.
you're like a consistent 1.25, that's fine. Like that's really fine. If you're consistently, you can draw a gun and hit an A zone at like 15 yards from the draw, fine. That's more than okay. Like that's super competitive out of the holster.
It's very important. It's very important to establish.
Yeah, because that can fuck up your whole stage, right? Like that'll ruin you. But like that 0.25 seconds out of the holster, that in the grand scheme of things over a 30-round stage, like that doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter.
So what makes a good draw? What is the key to a good draw?
It sounds a lot like the grip. Yeah, but what's the word we use?
What's the word? Yeah. What's the, no, not, you want to have a consistent grip, but how do you get fast out of the holster?
Consistent draw, like good mechanics.
What's the word we're looking for? Like, we're looking for a very specific word, because when you guys say, you're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Efficiency. To get your gun out of your holster fast, you need to be efficient. You need to have no wasted movement, and your movements need to be efficient. Like, is it smart for me to start with my hand back here? No, right? Where did you see everybody starting? Wrist below the base.
Where? But where?
You didn't see anybody starting like this or like this.
Tight to their gun.
Everybody was like tight to their gun.
Hand is right here,
ready to go.
Unless the stage called for hands above elbows, but then even hands above shoulders, what are most people doing? They're like bringing their hands closer to their gun, like they're doing shit like this, right? For the most part, you want to be as close to the gun as you can, because you can, so as soon as the gun is out of the holster, you want to build that grip as soon as possible. Start building it as soon as possible.
So it's very important to have the same consistent draw. That way you have the same index, especially with red dots. You know, we're not lining two pieces of metal up to shoot. You have one, you know, I'm going to use red. And there's green and gold. We have one red dot to really index to your sight. So if your grip or the way you draw your gun is just slightly off, so if your hand is not in place where you need to be, your index to where you find the dot is not going to be there. And it's very important not, like for you, I know you have a lot of guns. I don't know if you have a lot of guns. I don't know if you have a lot of guns. You have a lot of different guns. So what I recommend is that you stick with one gun and shoot that gun all the time. That way your index of how you draw in your muscle memory is always the same for whatever you, did you use that for competition? Would you use your Canic? Oh, your other staccato. All right, so as long as it's a staccato, then you're okay, because they're all the same. They all have the same grip. They're all the same gun, pretty much, just different slide length. So like for you, Glock, the Glock 19 grip is not going to be any different from a Glock 17. So stay in the same family. For you, Canic, you could stay inside the Canic family and be okay. Do I recommend that you go out and buy a staccato and then shoot a Canic in competition? No, absolutely not.
That would be huge.
So like it's very important to establish muscle memory on that gun you're using and just get lots of reps. You could dry fire. This is not something you need to do a live fire. You just throw your belt on, whatever you're using inside the waistband holster, and just go to town and just establish a really good index and draw. And if you don't have a pack timer, they actually have like pack time apps. They have like apps.
The T-Rex Arms app has it.
They have apps that just track your speed. It should go off the audible click of your trigger, but
you can set up a part-time.
Live fire, you could actually, you know, get your part-time, like your real part-time. So I recommend that if you want to get faster draw. But drawing is about efficiency and how we start. So everything that we go forward now is going to be from draw. That way you guys get tons of reps, because everything tomorrow is from a draw. And I'm sure I'm going to have to critique some people tomorrow, which I really don't want to do, but I'm sure I'm going to have to do it. So everything that we do from now on is from draw. So if what I don't want you to do is draw your gun and not see your dot and start shooting, like I want you to establish, I want you guys to build a good draw today. That way you're ready to go tomorrow. Well, I know you're not here tomorrow with us. But everything we do from now on, if you don't see your dot, reestablish your grip and then shoot. Yeah. Like see what the good grip is, or what the good, consistent, efficient grip is to see your dot, and then make your shots. Don't go back to the holster and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you're just not going to, you're going to do the same thing. You're not going to see your dot.
Another thing is you want to set up your equipment for your body, right? Have a good sized gun for your hands, have the built positioned in a way where you minimize the movement. You've made your adjustments, I'm assuming, right? Move some stuff around, looking a lot better. You're using kind of like the over the pants setup. That might be a little bit harder to move around, but we'll see. But okay, good. So
to go back on the equipment, sorry. You want to make sure that your equipment, like for us, it's a lot of competition guys. For me wise, I know exactly where my gun has to go for my draw. Like really right off the front of my hip bone is where my holster, where this top of this gun sits. So I know, like if my gun's like this, I know it's off. So I always try to put my belt on the same way. So your equipment should be going in the same exact spot. That way you build the muscle memory to do it. Because if it's off by a little bit, your index is going to be off by a lot. Mm-hmm. So it's very important that you have good, consistent equipment placement on your body. Mm-hmm. And as far as putting your equipment in the right place, like how I try to do is either one, I use the stance that I'm ready for on a stage. So like I know, as you know, like how we start on a stage varies, but most of the time it's wrist below belt. So I try to keep my hands in the same exact spot and just get the consistent draw. Or I find it with students by relaxing their shoulders and relaxing their body and then just having them come up, and that's where it should be.
Like what he's trying to say is wherever your hand falls naturally at your sides, right? Just take your hands and let it fall. And then from that place, if you were to just slightly pull your elbow up, is your gun right there? Your gun's right there? Yeah, probably. So we've had this issue in the past in classes where people like they were here and the gun's like all the way here or like canted in such a way that like, their shoulders like cranked like this. So every time they draw, they have to do this kind of stuff. It should be you're here, and if you want to get the gun out, all you do is just bend the elbow, and then you're off to the right. Okay.
So for your support hand, where would you? So although there are different places for your support hand, I'm sure you've seen people putting their support hand differently. Where you put your support hand and start, I don't care. The fastest way to get to your gun is closest to the gun. So like index off your belly button. When you're in competition, wrist below belt. So you would have to keep your wrist below your belt. But I'm gonna wait. Can everybody see me? Can everybody see this? So we get a lot of like I'm sure you've seen this, or I'm sure you tried this, where people go to draw and they crash their gun immediately. What would you think is going to happen when you crash your gun out of the draw? What's going to happen? Well, you're not going to establish a good grip if you crash your gun.
But like think in terms of like your optic.
Like, do you think the index is going to be the same every single time if you crash your gun? So where you establish your grip on your gun is going to be entirely up to you. I like to establish like midway out. I don't like to establish it like right here because as you see, there's like no room to do this. And for me personally, I don't think I establish a good grip. I'm more of like midway out and I establish my grip. And this is literally a brand new gun. So I'm gonna have to do some dry fire work on it. But it's very close to my other grip angle. But here is where I establish my grip. So midway out. I know some guys like to establish their grip here.
Yeah, to counter him, I like to establish it closer. Like when I'm out of the gun, I'm here. That's for me. Like for me, that's what I like to do.
And we yield the same results. There's many times we've done a drill,
and we shoot the same exact time.
We shoot the same exact time.
Like to the 1,000th of a second. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I personally like it closer. Other people like to have it out here. The big thing is just putting your hand in a place where it's gonna meet the gun, not out here.
Yeah, I don't.
Anywhere from here to here is good. Out here is not good because you're gonna have less time to build the grip, so it's probably gonna be a bad grip. And then B, you're probably gonna knock the gun out of your line of sight and you're gonna be fishing for your. We see the people doing this thing. Like, that's probably why. You're building your grip too far away from your midline. It's gotta be closer to midline. So when you press out, it's a straight line in front of your eye and you can see your dot. That's why people have issues finding their dot out of the holster. It's because they're doing things to knock their gun out of the line of sight.
So what he's talking about is don't establish your gun out here already and then get on your gun. It's way too late. Your first shot is gonna be trash or not what you want it to be. So I would suggest finding the happy medium between here and here. where you want to build your grip. It's okay to do it midway. I do it midway, and it's perfectly okay. But I would very much find the happy medium where you feel comfortable building your grip.
Yeah.
But just don't draw your gun and try to get to it as fast as possible, and you're doing this every single time.
Yeah.
It should be a very smooth establishment of your grip. And it
There's
should
no
be in the
one
same
size
spot.
fits all for this stuff, guys. It's just whatever you find works for you, that's consistent, that yields good results, probably the right thing, right? It's just finding that right thing for you is important. Cool.